Hey, this is Scott, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Thronmax MDrill 1 USB microphone. So just as a quick disclaimer now before continuing the video, this part right now, as well as some other parts in the video where I'm physically touching the microphone and I don't want to deal with that handling noise in my audio, I am using the Rode NT1A as my main microphone. But on the parts where I'm not physically touching the microphone, I am going to use this microphone's audio, so I will make a note of it on screen when and where this is the audio that you're hearing. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into it. So physically speaking, this is quite a nice microphone. There is a lot of plastic, but it generally feels well made. The grill itself is made of metal, and it's using their unique design that's meant to improve audio quality even more by not breaking up the sound waves quite as much as a typical mesh style grill. They call it a sound enhancing acoustic chamber. It's hard to say how it actually works, to be honest, unless I actually had the exact same mic side by side with a normal grill on instead, but generally you can hear how it sounds. Overall, I think it's a really cool looking light, with all these lights on here and everything, and there's even different colored mood lights on the bottom here that you can switch, so whether or not that matters is, up to you. But it's a very nice looking design here. The gain levels and the headphone volumes are different colors, and they'll switch back and forth as you adjust them correspondingly, and you can also see very easily on here which pickup pattern you're in, so generally this display in here will give you really nice clear information. These two buttons on the front can be used to change your pickup patterns and also to instantly mute the microphone, so it's nice to have a dedicated mute button on here that can really come in handy when you're on conference calls or live streaming or something like that. On the back you have your separate knobs for gain and headphone volume, and on the bottom you have your ports for the USB to plug it into your computer, as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack and a screw thread here, so if you want to take this off and put it onto a mic stand, you can do that right here. These two knobs on the side are going to be used to tighten this down to hold it in position, or you could completely remove this microphone itself from the stand and put it onto another microphone stand or a boom arm using those threads on the bottom. Of course, the actual audio from this microphone is going to be a huge concern, so let's go ahead and take a look into that. So of course, the first thing to do is to go ahead and get the microphone connected to our computer. So just simply take the USB cable, plug it in, and you can see the power is automatically turned on. If you're on a Mac, go over to your system preferences, choose sound, and make sure you're in the input tab. And as you can see, Thronmax MDrill 1 is already selected for me, but if it's not, go ahead and select it. We'll worry about the input volume later on because we can adjust that in Audacity, which I'm going to be recording with today. If you want to select it as your output as well, your computer's audio will be played through the headphone jack in the microphone, so depending on what you have set up. Now I have some wireless headphones connected here, so I'm not going to do that, but if you want to hear your computer's audio, like when you play back things on your computer, for example, through these headphones, then you can go ahead and select that for your output as well. So now we'll open up Audacity and start recording. So physically speaking, right now I'm about a foot away from the microphone, and I'm very slightly off axis just because of the way I have this pointed for the video. I have it selected on the cardioid pickup pattern right now, and my input gain on the microphone itself is set to about 2 bars on this scale, which is the lowest it can go. It jumps up in 2-bar increments. My input on the computer is set to about 30%, and again, I'm recording on a MacBook with Audacity, and depending on your program, depending on your device, it might be a little bit different, but that's what I got. And just from my experience compared to other microphones, with other microphones, even having the gain on the microphone turned all the way up, I do have to have the computer's input volume a bit higher than this. So that's just saying that even at the lowest gain setting on this microphone, which will give you the cleanest results, you're going to get a powerful enough signal that you'll have no problems with the actual levels in your computer. So I don't think in most situations you're going to need to turn the gain on the microphone up all that much. I would be very comfortable turning the gain on my computer a bit higher than it is right now, and I don't have to. So I think that you will be all set even with this at the lowest setting. Like I said, you probably want to avoid turning that gain up if you don't have to, but let's go ahead and listen to how it sounds just if you do. So now I've gone ahead and turned the input gain on the microphone up to about halfway on the scale here, and I've lowered the input volume on my computer to about 15%. And as you can probably hear, it's a bit more distorted now. So I talked with Thronmax about this, and they said that it's just a decision in how they design the microphone itself, whether it's going to be the ideal setting at the lowest or the ideal setting at the highest. And in this case, they went to go with an ideal setting at the lowest possible input. So any gain that you add on top of there is going to distort your audio, but it will give you a boost on top of what they already have, which, like I said, is more than necessary. So I've gone ahead and turned the gain on the microphone all the way up, and I've lowered the computer's input volume down to about 7%. So you can hear now that this is probably even more distorted than that previous clip. But again, any gain on top of that minimal level is going to just be adding more distortion. So you'll get more gain when you really need it. But if you don't need it, keeping things at that lowest possible setting are going to give you the cleanest audio. Alright, so before we move on to these other pickup patterns and so on, let's just quickly check how the mic's self noise is at this lowest possible gain setting, because that is going to be where I'm mainly using it, so that's where I'm most concerned about something like this. But let's just listen to how quiet the mic itself is. So to show you the different pickup patterns on here, since I'm only one person right now, I've gone ahead and recorded my voice on my phone, and I'm going to play that as I move it around the microphone just to show you how those different pickup patterns work. This is me checking the audio. 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 So now as one quick last test, I'm just going to see how it sounds when I move my actual physical mouth closer to the microphone compared to when I'm further away. So now I have my mouth probably less than 6 inches away from the microphone, and this is a setup that you might find yourself in if you're doing a podcast, for example, where you want to really drown out those surrounding noises and get that nice, really warm, rich sound to your voice. So again, with my mouth very close to the microphone, this is going to be how it sounds. So yeah, I've really liked using this microphone overall, with all of the features built into here, the different pickup patterns, how easy it is to use. I think this is a really great microphone for the price. Is it perfect? No, it's not, especially when you consider the audio quality once you start boosting that gain. But like we said, in most cases, you're not going to need to anyway. So if you think of this as just kind of, a one gain level microphone most of the time and only use that when you really, really need it, I think it's going to be definitely a very great mic that's very worth your consideration. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below and I will do my best to get back to you. If you like this video or found it helpful, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to see more in the future, and as always, thank you for watching.